Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing Will I Buy It, the weekly series in which I talk about new makeup releases and whether or not I want to get them and why. This is a video series inspired by Samantha March's series of the same name, in which she also takes new makeup releases and talks about her opinions on them. It's a really fun series for me to do here on my channel. I really love doing it, and it's something that I post every single Sunday. So if you're new to my channel and you're interested in this series, please note that it does go up every single Sunday. Now, this first release right here is easily one of the most noteworthy releases, if not the most, of this entire week. We're talking about the new eyeshadow palette collaboration, well, rather a shadow palette collaboration with Jackie, Anya, and Anastasia Beverly Hills. They're releasing this palette right here, which is a beautiful selection of neutral shades and purple shades, all rolled into one palette. Now, this palette will be $45. I believe that's the regular price point for Anastasia Beverly Hills shadow palettes, and it is available now. I will say this, I have already done a look inspired by this palette and a redesign of this palette. I will say that the palette itself is really pretty. It's obvious, I think, if you watch Jackie Anna's video, just how much love and work went into this palette, and I think that I've seen a handful of reviews, or rather first impressions, and they all seem to be pretty favorable. In fact, extremely so. So I'm very happy for Jackie, and I'm also very happy that Anastasia Beverly Hills has a new purple palette to add to their repertoire, because I think that the Norvina palette, that palette was like, it was like a neutral palette in purple packaging. They had some like purple shades in there, but there was nothing like, there was not like a vast majority of purple shadows in there, if you know what I mean. And I just didn't really see that as a purple palette. And to be honest, I don't see this as a completely purple palette either, but I consider it to be more purple than the Norvina palette, if that makes any sense. Regardless, I am very excited by this launch. I will not be getting it myself because I'm on my no-buy. Probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. But regardless, I'm still very happy about this release. It's a beautiful palette. Is it my favorite? No, but it still is quite a pretty version of a neutral and a colorful palette rolled into one. Let's talk about an indie brand, shall we? This brand called Mavi Cosmetics is launching an Istanbul palette on the 8th. It has already launched. It is now the 10th when I'm filming this, but this is the palette itself, and this is what it looks like swatched. Now, I've never actually set foot in Istanbul. I've like passed through, always wanted to go, but from what I can tell, this is a relatively accurate representation of what Istanbul looks like. The packaging is absolutely beautiful. The shadows do look nice as well. Is this something that I want? No, because while it does fit the theme of Istanbul, it's just not something that I want in my collection, namely because so many of the shades in this palette are either warm tones or neutrals. You have that blue shade, but that is like the one shade in the palette that I actually feel like I want, and all the other shades are shades that I'm not necessarily obsessed by. And that is just my preference. That is not the fault of the brand. I think that this is a beautiful palette, but do I want it? Not really. Now, the spirit board from Peachy Queen blog is now available. This is essentially a palette of 12 shadows inspired by Ouija boards. This palette already has stirred up some controversy because of the theme of the Ouija board. And they're calling it a spirit board. It's quite obvious that this is a Ouija board theme, and people are calling it pagan, satanic. People are criticizing the fact that this palette seems to be joking about this sort of like concept, which a lot of people do find offensive. And I can't necessarily say that I have a strong opinion about it. I will say that the colors do look really pretty. I would have considered buying this if I was not on my no-buy, if it wasn't for the fact that the general theme and the way that they have presented this theme, I just feel like they're using the concept of death and the concept of the next life and just the concept of spirits in general quite loosely. I can't say that I believe or don't believe in this sort of thing, but I wouldn't feel comfortable having something like this, especially with like goodbye on the packaging in my collection. Like, I mean, I'm not a very superstitious person, but at the same time, like, I don't want to have that kind of thing inside my living space. And maybe that sounds ridiculous, but I feel like I've had terrible luck in my life already and I don't want it to get worse. Does that make any sense? But yeah, no. This monstrosity. Oh my gosh. This is like, oh my, I don't even want to count how many shades are in this palette because no, like, oh my gosh, no. So this is the Exotic Pop palette from Ching Beauty Shop _. Now, I think the spelling is Qing Beauty Shop. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing that. I hope I'm not. I probably am. But, oh my gosh. Who wants this? My question is, who wants this? A 5-year-old next door? Because I don't. Like, no, no, nuh-uh. I mean, yeah, like there are several shades in here that look similar to other shades. Like, I think you can easily play a matching game with some of the shades in this palette because like so many of the shades look very similar. But like, it's huge. I don't want it. It's too big. No, no, it's $30. Too big. Nah, can't do it. There's this brand called Soul Body, which is being described as ColourPop's sister brand. They are coming out for a second release, and they're basically releasing a body highlighter in 4 different shades, and it is $15 per unit. Does this look tempting? Slightly. Do I actually want it? Not really. I'm not really interested in body makeup. I'm just not. Don't have time for that. I mean, okay, have you seen a tan on my skin? No. That's because I have barely been to the pool this entire summer because I've been working. So yeah, can't have any time for body makeup either. The next launch is an addition to Too Faced's what's it called? A gingerbread line, and I actually want to spend a little bit of time talking about this palette because that's the only thing I care enough to talk about. Boring. Sorry, Too Faced. But, like, it's like the entire top row, it looks like there are so many similar shades. The only exciting thing about this is that orange in, like, the middle-ish part of the palette, and also that, like, greenish shade in the bottom right. That's the only exciting thing in this entire palette. Are you, like, no. Too Faced. Seriously, come on. I feel like Too Faced, they're one of the mainstream brands that love launching neutral palettes with like vague pops of color. I don't want that kind of life, so no. Ooh, Melt is launching these liquid lipsticks. These are called the Undertone Nudes Collection, and they have 5 different lipstick shades for $19 each. I want all of them, not gonna lie. The shades look like super cool tone nudes, almost like kind of gray tone colors, very unique looking. I don't really see a lot of shades like this on the market. I kind of want all of them. Yes, I've said it, I want all of them. Wish I could get all of them. I cannot because that would be unwise. You can get all of them in the PR box for $65 if that's what you want to do. But yeah, that's a pretty hefty discount. This is another rainbow palette that I'm not interested in. This is from Violet Voss. They are launching 2 new palettes, a Vibes palette for $30 and a Coral Crush palette for $42. On one side, you have a rainbow palette, which has been done so many times before, and then on the other side, you have like a lackluster, neutral, warm tone palette, which we've all seen before. There's nothing new here, like at all. I feel like we've already been seeing this stuff over and over again, and I'm not interested in it. I don't care how pigmented it is. I don't care how pretty it is. I don't want this because I already have colors in my collection. And seriously, like, can more brands just release like colorful color stories without making them rainbow palettes? Like, is that hard? How big was that huge palette that we saw earlier? At least it's not that size, but I still don't want it. Okay, this next launch is from Sugar Pill. This is called the Mini Color Palette. It's another freaking rainbow palette. Like, seriously, the one interesting thing in this palette for me is like that, like, really, like, just like sort of like really intense light green. That's beautiful. But like on the whole, this is a rainbow palette. It's a rainbow palette in fun packaging. That's not something I want to get. It is $28. It is a 9-pan palette. All of these are mattes. I will say that the one good thing about this is usually Sugar Pills singles go for like $10 a pop. That's expensive. The fact that they're launching a 9-pan palette might have less in there, but it's still like Sugar Pill shadows for $28. It's okay. Like, it's good. That's the one nice thing about this launch. It's just that this palette is a rainbow palette, and yes, it's Sugar Pill. But at the same time, I want to see something fun. I want to see something like creative. They just slapped a cute cat on the packaging and expected all of us to fall head over heels for the palette, for the cat. I don't know. But like, yeah, no, like, I'm getting salty. I'm getting worked up. I'm getting salty. I'm getting worked up. I'm getting way too intense. It's fine. This next launch is from an indie brand. I'm happy about this. This is a selection of 4 different shades that are going to be launched by Lethal Cosmetics. They look pretty. I like them. They look nice. This is how you launch colorful shadows. You don't launch a rainbow palette. You can launch several really beautiful colors in one color family at a time if you want. But just don't go like all rainbow. Like, I mean, that's my opinion. But like, I feel like every single colorful launch from so many brands, it's a rainbow palette, and it's kind of like you're limiting yourself so much whenever you launch a rainbow palette, because by launching a rainbow palette, you are launching yet another rainbow palette into this sea of rainbow palettes that is in the industry right now. Essentially, you can launch something like this and have several shades, or even launch a palette that has green in it, and people will go head over heels. But like rainbow palettes, I don't think anybody really gets excited about rainbow palettes anymore, or anybody that I watch. But again, everyone has their own opinion. You might disagree, but that is totally fine. Those are all the new makeup releases I want to talk about. We don't have much this week, and there's definitely not much that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Sometimes you have a dry week, and sometimes you have a week where you literally want to set fire to everything. I'm kidding. That's bad. Don't do that. But like, I mean, looking back at this like entire week, the 2 things that I like so far. I like the Lethal Cosmetics launch, like those green shadows. Those look really pretty. Also, the Milk Cosmetics liquid lipsticks. Kind of into those. That's it. I hope you found this video entertaining and interesting. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.